Have you ever looked at the massive stone structures of the Mayans, the sprawling empires of the Khmer, or the emerald rice terraces of the Joseon dynasty, and asked one simple question: how did they feed everyone? Long before the invention of the Haber-Bosch process, before the first bag of ammonium nitrate was ever sewn shut, and before the term NPK even existed, ancient civilizations were achieving yields that would make a modern industrial farmer blush. They didn't have laboratories, they didn't have synthetic hormones, and they certainly didn't have toxic pesticides. Yet, they possessed something far more powerful: a deep, intimate understanding of the Earth's liquid gold. We have been taught to believe that without industrial intervention, the world would starve. We have been sold a narrative of scarcity to justify a billion-dollar chemical addiction. No, today, we are going to break that narrative. We are reopening the forbidden archives of ancient agriculture to reveal the fermentation secrets that can triple your yields, detoxify your soil, and grant you total biological independence. To understand liquid gold, we must first understand what was stolen from us. Modern agriculture treats the soil as a gas tank you pump in chemicals, and the plant runs until the tank is empty. This is the chemical paradigm. It views soil as a sterile substrate, a dead medium, whose only purpose is to hold the plant upright while we inject it with synthetic salts. But the ancients knew better. They followed the biological paradigm. They knew that soil is not a tank, it is a stomach. It is a living, breathing digestive system. When we use modern synthetic fertilizers, we aren't feeding the stomach, we are destroying its gut flora. Synthetic NPK is a salt. It dehydrates beneficial microbes and annihilates the delicate fungal bridges known as mycorrhizae. By choosing the easy path of chemicals, we have effectively put our gardens on life support. We have traded long-term fertility for a short-term hit of growth. Today, we stop the cycle. We are moving beyond the era of feeding the plant and returning to the ancient wisdom of feeding the life that feeds the plant. What exactly is this forbidden liquid gold? It isn't just one thing. It is a method. Historically, this refers to fermented plant juices, or FPJ, and indigenous microorganism teas. In the ancient East, specifically within the traditions that would eventually become Korean natural farming, farmers learned that the most powerful growth stimulants on Earth are already found in the strongest plants in your immediate environment. Liquid gold is a fermented extract, a bioavailable essence of life. It is the process of using beneficial bacteria to pre-digest organic matter, turning it into a super concentrated liquid that carries the literal immune memory and growth blueprint of the strongest species in your ecosystem. It is a liquid that contains not just minerals, but enzymes, lactic acid bacteria, and natural plant hormones that chemicals simply cannot replicate. Why does this work so much better than the blue liquid sold in stores? The answer lies in the science of chelation and fermentation. Modern fertilizers provide nutrients in a raw, ionic form. While plants can absorb them, it takes a massive amount of energy for the plant to process these raw salts into complex proteins and sugars. Ancient liquid gold, however, provides nutrients that are already chelated by bacteria. In this form, the nutrient is wrapped in an organic molecule, an amino acid or a sugar. The plant recognizes this as food rather than a chemical. It enters the plant's vascular system like a key into a lock, requiring almost zero energy to process. Furthermore, these ancient brews are packed with lactic acid bacteria. This is the same force that turns cabbage into sauerkraut and milk into yogurt. In the soil, these bacteria act as a biological vacuum cleaner. They suppress pathogens, break down compacted organic matter, and, most importantly, they clean the soil by neutralizing the toxic residues left behind by years of chemical use. One of the most forbidden aspects of this ancient knowledge is its ability to clean the earth. Our modern soils are often locked up. They might have plenty of phosphorus or calcium, but it's tied up in insoluble chemical bonds, essentially constipated by years of synthetic salt applications. The liquid gold fermentation process produces high concentrations of organic acids. These acids act as biological solvents. They move through the soil, dissolving the hardened mineral salts and releasing the locked nutrients back to the plant. It is a detoxification process. By introducing these fermented liquids, you are recolonizing the gut of your garden. You are replacing the chemical-induced leaky gut of your soil with a robust, thriving immune system that can fight off pests and diseases without a single drop of pesticide. Let's move into the laboratory of the kitchen. To create your own liquid gold, we look to the ancient extraction method. The first step is selection. You are looking for pioneer plants. Find the weeds in your area that grow the fastest, look the healthiest, and seem indestructible. These plants contain the highest concentrations of auxins and gibberellins natural growth hormones. Harvest them in the early morning while they are still full of vital sap and morning dew. The second step is osmotic extraction. Finely chop these plants and mix them with raw brown sugar in a 1-to-1 ratio by weight. The sugar serves a dual purpose. First, through osmosis, it pulls the cellular juice out of the plant material. Second, it serves as the fuel for the fermentation. The third step is the fermentation chamber. Place the mixture in a clay pot or glass jar. Cover it with a breathable cloth, never a plastic lid. We need the breath of the world to enter. Let it sit for 7 to 14 days in a dark, cool place. During this time, the indigenous yeasts and bacteria on the plant leaves will feast on the sugar, breaking down the plant's DNA into a concentrated, shelf-stable liquid. When it's finished, you will have a dark, syrupy liquid that smells like a deep, sweet forest floor. This is your concentrate. How does this triple your yields? It's not just about the NPK, it's about hormonal synergy. When you apply this fermented juice to your crops, you aren't just giving them food, you are giving them a command signal. The natural hormones in the liquid gold tell the plant to increase its rate of cell division. It tells the roots to expand. It tells the fruit to store more sugars. Because the nutrients are already chelated and the hormones are bioidentical, the plant doesn't experience the typical stress growth cycle of chemical fertilizers. Instead, it enters a state of optimal performance. You will see stems that are twice as thick, leaves that are dark and waxy, and fruit that stays fresh on the shelf for weeks longer than chemical-grown produce. This is the difference between a body built on steroids and a body built on pure ancestral nutrition. Ancient farmers didn't just apply their fertilizers whenever they felt like it. They worked with the diurnal rhythm. Apply your liquid gold in the late evening or very early morning. Why? Because that is when the plant's stomata are open and the microbial life in the soil is most active. Dilute your concentrate 1 to 500 or even 1 to 1,000. A single jar of this forbidden gold can feed an entire acre of land. It is the ultimate insurance policy against the rising costs of industrial inputs. It turns the waste of your environment into the wealth of your garden. Look at your yard. Look at the weeds you used to pull and throw away. Those are the ingredients for your next harvest. Those are the keys to a garden that doesn't just grow, but thrives in total harmony with the planet. We have spent a century trying to conquer nature with chemistry, only to find ourselves with depleted soils and toxic food. The path forward is actually the path back. Back to the fermentation jars, back to the microbes, and back to the liquid gold that has been waiting for us to remember it. Start your first ferment today. Watch the transformation. And remember, the most powerful tools for your survival aren't sold in a store. They are growing right beneath your feet, waiting for you to unlock their secrets.